lads and geezer. It's sad to say, but Xbox as a purpose-built at-home console will come to an end sooner rather than later. People have built digital libraries for 2 generations now, and they won't forget that worth and switch from PlayStation to Xbox. Do you think Steam is the only viable platform that could manufacture a console and compete with Sony, leverage people's existing libraries, use Valve's already great compatibility layer, and boom, you have a console people can plug into a TV and play with games they already own? Thoughts? It's an interesting conceit, right, Oliver?
It's fascinating, and I would actually be very curious to see how that works myself. I'd love to test it out at some point. I think it could be very viable, a new generation of Steam machine with the great work that they've put into Proton. I mean, it sounds like potentially a really great product. I'm sure they're exploring that possibility internally. They must be, because of how good that is. Certainly Steam OS on the Steam Deck, it's a dream to work with relative to other console optimized UIs I've seen in the past. It really does work tremendously well. So I think they could be in a great position, maybe even a better position than Microsoft. Maybe not, I don't know, but they're certainly in a good position to do something. Maybe they should.
What do you think, Alex?
I'm just curious about like how they sell it as the advantage versus just buying a Windows PC. Right now, I want to say most people are not using the Steam Deck as their primary platform. Maybe I'm really wrong with that. I don't know. But like, when is it? So I think that's like complementary. And Steam Deck is like a mostly niche complementary platform to a variety of ways people might play games. But maybe I'm wrong there. I'm just curious, like, when does it become like a supplementary platform here to make it really viable for people just to want to buy it? Like the whole Steam Machines issue runs amongst a variety of issues. There's so many. Is the fact that like, so what am I getting that I can't get elsewhere? And a Windows PC does offer you a heck of a lot. The Steam Deck is like, what does it offer you? You can play your PC games on the go in a handheld, and it's like, wow. And you get this OS experience that allows you to sleep the console, etc. Sorry, sleep this deck. And, I think that's powerful in its own right. But like the whole, like, what does that do? I don't know. I would be curious what their selling point is, or like what it does specifically very different than Windows. Couldn't just be price or something. I don't, maybe it is. I'm like, what would they say to make you want to buy it?
I think John's conceit here is basically that he is putting forward the idea that Valve muscles into the console space by taking all of the learning from Steam Deck and putting it into a set-top box. I think that's his idea here, right? In which case, you wouldn't really want a Windows box because, driver updates, Windows updates, all of the stuff that makes you require a keyboard and mouse to actually get it to work, and which is kind of like the major stumbling block when it comes to like PC handhelds like ROG Ally and other Windows-based machines. So to take the learning from Steam Deck and apply it to a set-top box style console, I think it could be quite compelling, And I think the reason why Steam Deck was successful is that they learned from the mistakes of the Steam machine, which is to say that it just wasn't really right in terms of the product. The OS wasn't there. The options for running on a TV, it was still fundamentally a computer. It didn't really work in the same way. But I think a lot of the issues that have plagued Steam machines are all fully resolved in terms of Steam Deck. And I don't really see why you couldn't have, Steam OS running on, say, a Series S, X, let's say Series X, or PlayStation 5 style APU-based system with unified memory in the same way that it does on the Steam Deck. I think it could be quite compelling, and maybe we should build a system that does something similar just to see how it all pans out. I suspect it would probably be okay. What do you reckon?
I mean, based upon these new Strix things that we just talked about earlier in the show, maybe it is something that Valve actually does. Maybe that's one of the existence why these things exist.
Another big part of that, though, has to be the uniqueness of the Steam Deck device, because
Right.
if they're targeting, like, let's say they open it up completely, then maybe you lose the precompiled shaders, right? Or you aren't giving everyone a graphics preset made for their machine that actually works well for them. So maybe it would be like, maybe it wouldn't be a big OEM device made by many people. It would be a device that's made by Valve, potentially a small set-top style device. That would be very interesting, I think.
Yeah. Or a licensed chipset.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.